During his trip to Winnipeg, Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre stopped by CityNews Winnipeg to discuss how his party would address issues facing the prairies. Mr. Poilievre, thank you so much for joining us here at City News. First of all, what brings you to the city of Winnipeg, sir?
Well, I want to hear what the great people of the prairies have to say. I know life's been very difficult with inflation at a 40-year high, 1.5 million people eating at a food bank every single month, and students forced to live in homeless shelters because of the high costs. This is Justin Trudeau's Canada. People are suffering, and I want to transform that hurt into hope so that everybody believes that through hard work and family they can get ahead and achieve their dreams.
You know, speaking a little bit further about the prairies specifically, what are some of the major issues that the Conservative Party of Canada kind of wants to address here on the prairies?
Well, I know that the costly coalition of the NDP and Liberals plan to triple the carbon tax on your gas, heat, and groceries. I'm fighting back against that. I will get rid of the carbon tax. Instead of importing our resources from dirty dictatorships, I'll remove Justin Trudeau's anti-development laws so that we can produce more energy, more agriculture, and more minerals for electric cars here in this country. And finally, instead of banning hunting rifles of Indigenous, rural, and farmers, I think we should crack down on the real violent criminals that are terrorizing inner cities across the country.
You know, here in Winnipeg, we saw some of the polarization that exists in Canada firsthand with some members of the convoy demonstration, blocking a street in the city for some weeks. Some folks, including former leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, Aaron O'Toole, has said that rhetoric, that he called hyper-aggressive, needs to be kind of taken back a little bit. How do you respond to those kind of concerns?
I think it's absolutely true. Justin Trudeau's divisive, nasty rhetoric, jamming his fingers in people's faces, calling them horrible names, and trying to censor people who criticize him has done nothing but divide Canadians. He's the most divisive Prime Minister in Canadian history. Instead of dividing people, he should take responsibility for the suffering that he's caused. We have people going into food banks asking for medical assistance and dying, not because they're sick, because they're too hungry. Here in Canada, we have students living in homeless shelters in Canada. We have 35-year-olds living in their parents' basements because house prices have become more unaffordable under Trudeau than at any time in Canadian history. Instead of trying to beat people up and scream at them every time they speak out against that suffering, I think the Prime Minister, any Prime Minister, and as Prime Minister, I will do this, we should bring people together and solve their problems, give them hope that we can once again be a country where hard work pays off.
Amongst some recent polls, some women voters, definitely not seeing you as a popular choice. Why do you think that is, and what would be your message to those women who at this point in time say they wouldn't vote for you?
Well, I think that's the spin of Ottawa insiders and pollsters. Those pollsters are doing very well. The lobbyists, the Ottawa establishment has never had it so good, and that's why they're attacking me. But I'm standing up for the common people, the common women and men of this country.